So Arvind, fantastic to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Paul. How are you? Good to see you on screen today.
You travel the world probably 200 days a year. You speak with a lot of C-level and EAM executives. What are they telling you about how they're pricing opportunities and addressing needs? And I'm not sure even needs relevant, in these times that we're in.
It's an interesting question, Paul. I've been thinking about it you sort of started an interesting framework here when you started to talk about resilience and readiness and reinvention. And as I reflected on my conversations over the last several weeks with our customers, I realized that the first one that you called resilience is obviously top of mind for everyone. The first reaction our customers have had, including us, is how do I get through this crisis? What immediate steps do I take to stabilize or right-size my business? It's been about keeping the lights on, understanding the changes in our business, the demand, the supply, our resources, our employees. Unfortunately, it's felt for most of us, including our customers, like changing the wheels in a car while driving it. But the one thing that our customers are increasingly becoming aware of, that we've had to really rely on accurate information to respond and pivot. We've gone from running our lives to modeling, from forecasting the spread. We're building infrastructure. We're redeploying assets. We're looking for establishing new supply chains in an emergency. Think about GM. They repurposed an entire plant and are starting to make ventilators. But none of this could be accomplished if we didn't have the right information available, and our customers are recognizing it. Can you imagine the amount of information GM needed to be able to turn on a plant they weren't using, information about the equipment, information about spare parts, information about their vendors and their supply chains? This is where it becomes very important for us to be having the right information available to us in front of us so we can respond and pivot. So that's the first thing. It's survival, it's resilience. How do you handle the current crisis and keep the lights on? The second thing, I think we're all sort of entering the second phase of this, I would say, which is the readiness. We are now turning our attention to what do we need to do to be ready. We need to start thinking about, do we have the right foundation and be able to respond in real time? If you think about most of our asset industries, a lot of the assets were built, a lot of these information systems, IT, our analytics, our dashboard, are 20, 30 years old. For us to be able to make that connection between an asset and a part or materials sitting in the warehouse, we need to have accurate information on our equipment. We need to have information about the locations these assets are deployed. We need to have complete and accurate bills of materials that connect the assets to the spare parts in the warehouses. And finally, you talked about reinvention. We also have an opportunity in this slowdown to think about how do we want to use our bandwidth and our resources during the slowdown to really get ready for the future of business. I was talking to the CIO of the second largest pharmaceutical company just yesterday, and he said, we invested in our digital infrastructure months and years ago. We were ready to respond to the opportunity that the crisis presented to us and the need that the crisis called for. One of the things that we have learned is that a lot of the analytics that we are depending on is unfortunately based on bad underlying data. So data really has to catch up to the analytics. As I often say, the devil is in the data. And I think that is really something that we're seeing our customers take a lot of time to basically get ready for the future.
Great. Thank you, Arvind, very much for joining us today. Talk to you later, my friend.
It's a pleasure always, Paul. Thanks for all the good work you guys are doing.